Well, right now, state leaders are weighing a proposal that could change how you receive health treatment.
Yeah, your reporter Taylor Knight is live outside of Waterbury Hospital this morning to explain what hospitals are involved in this and really what it could mean for you and your family.
Well, Waterbury Hospital is one of 3 hospitals that the state is considering buying right now. According to CT Insider, Waterbury Hospital alone could cost the state up to $500 million. Waterbury Hospital, Bristol Hospital, and Day Kimball Hospital in Putnam could soon be owned by UConn Health. According to our partners at CT Insider, this could create a new public health care system in the state that would be called the Connecticut Healthcare System, powered by UConn Health. Recent reports say that a Waterbury expansion would more than double the inpatient capacity of UConn's John Dempsey Hospital in Farmington. Right now, Waterbury Hospital is owned by Prospect Medical Holdings. That company went bankrupt at the beginning of the year. No formal bid for Waterbury Hospital has been filed in Prospect's bankruptcy court docket as of right now. Channel 3 is working to get more information from UConn Health about all of this. Once we hear from them, we will bring it to you on air and online at WFSB.com. Your reporter live in Waterbury, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Taylor.